Hello students, welcome to my lecture series. Myself, Dr. Sangita Bhamare, S.V.K.T. College, Devlali Camp, Nasik, Department of Zoology. Today, we are going to talk about the terrestrial ecosystem. In my last lecture, we saw terms in ecosystem in which the various terms were included. Then we saw the details of aquatic ecosystem. Now, today, we are going to talk on terrestrial ecosystem. This is our session agenda in which we are going to talk first of all what is mean by terrestrial ecosystem, then what are the characteristic features of this terrestrial ecosystem, structural components of the ecosystem as biotic and abiotic ecosystems. So here you can see what is mean by terrestrial ecosystem at a glance. So in this picture, various types of ecosystems or biomes you people can see. So which are that ecosystem? You can see the forest is there, jungle, desert, grass, polar region is there, some farm, trees, garden, some mountains, rocks, savannas, etc. Okay. So these are the various factors which are included in the terrestrial ecosystem, or we can say this is how the terrestrial ecosystem is made by with the help of these different factors. Means here you can see the forest, you can see the grassland, you can see the ice, you can see the trees, gardens, etc. These are the learning objectives of today's lecture. So what you can get? You can get here the concept of ecosystem, which we people have somehow already discussed in last lecture, means what is mean by ecosystem, its definition, their types. Then here we are going to talk in detail about the terrestrial ecosystem, in which we are going to learn about the forest ecosystem, desert ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, mountains, rocks, etc. So here you can see the definition. What is the actual meaning of terrestrial ecosystem and how it is made by. So what is it? It is basically the landform. So terrestrial ecosystem is an ecosystem found only on landform. So here as such you cannot observe any type of lotic, lentic or aquatic or marine type of ecosystem. So completely landforms are there by which the terrestrial ecosystem is made by. So here few or 6 primary terrestrial ecosystems are enlisted as Tundra is the first one, second is taiga, then temperate deciduous forest you can see, next is the tropical rainforest, grassland and desert. So these are the 6 landforms by which the whole terrestrial ecosystem is made by. So an ecosystem situated near the North Pole. This is about the tundra. Okay. So what is tundra? Tundra is nothing but an ecosystem situated near the North Pole. So basically the location of the tundra is near the North Pole in the Arctic Circle as the coldest and driest all terrestrial ecosystem. So this is one of the characteristic feature of tundra. So what is it? It is the most coldest and driest area which you people can see, where winters are extremely cold. So extreme cold can be observed, means temperature is up to minus 35 degrees Celsius. The summers last only about 2 months. Means the duration for the summer season is very less, and the temperature in that summer is again the cold one rather than warm or hot, and near about 3 degree to 12 degrees Celsius. So characteristic feature of tundra is it is near to the North Pole or situated to the North Pole if you are talking about the polar region. Then here what happens? 2 seasons you people can see. One is the winter and another one is the summer. So what happens in winter? Very freezing temperature you people can see, means near about minus 34 degrees Celsius, and summer is only the name but temperature is very less, which is up to 3 degree to 12 degrees Celsius. Tundra terrestrial region is divided into 2 parts. So here the actual word tundra comes from the word tunturia, means tunturia is the basic word from which this tundra is coming. So here tunturia means the treeless land. So here as such you cannot observe any type of tree. That's why it is called as a Tunturia, and today we call it as a tundra. So basically it is divided into two regions. So two types of tundra you can say. So one is the Arctic tundra and second is the alpine tundra. So what is the difference and what are the locations of this Arctic tundra and alpine tundra that we people can see here. The Arctic tundra is located within the Arctic Circle, while the alpine tundra is up to the high area or you can say the mountain region. So this is the major difference in between the Arctic tundra and the alpine tundra. So Arctic tundra is up to the Arctic Circle, or its location is the Arctic Circle, while the alpine tundra is near about or at the area of high mountains above the trees. So the largest animal that lives in the tundra ecosystem is the polar bears. So here 2 or 3 animals you people can see, but the polar bear, majority of the animals if you are talking about. So polar bear is dominant, especially in this particular tundra region. So these are few pictures you can see. At the left side you can see Arctic tundra, and at right side alpine tundra. So this is one of the tundra region from the Alaska region, and these pictures gives us the idea about the animals which are ready to survive in that particular region. So in the first picture you can see the polar bear, in second this beetle, and in third one mammal which is very similar to the squirrel. Next to tundra we turn towards the another terrestrial region, that is taiga. So taiga, characteristic feature of this taiga terrestrial region is what? It is the largest terrestrial ecosystem and which extends across Europe, North America and Asia. So the regions where this taiga region or taiga you people can see, taiga type of terrestrial region can be seen are Europe, North America and Asia. So it is also known as a coniferous forest. One of the characteristic feature is it is also known as a coniferous forest or the boreal forest. Means only the coniferous trees or plants especially can be seen in the taiga region. So one characteristic feature is it has short wet summers and long cold winters. So short wet summers. Short wet summers indicates what? Here it gets plenty of snow during the winter and plenty of rainfall during the summer. That's why summers are known as a wet summers, and cold winters means plenty of snowfall you can see in this particular region, that is taiga. So this is the picture of taiga where you can see this all features, wet summers, then long and cold winters, etc. Next terrestrial ecosystem is temperate deciduous forest. So deciduous term itself indicates the leaves type here, or the foliage leaves can be seen especially in this deciduous forest. So it experiences all 4 seasons. This is one of the feature of this temperate deciduous forest is here all 4 seasons can be seen: winter, spring, summer and fall. So the 4 seasons are easily recognizable, means all 4 seasons can easily distinguish, means this one is summer, this particular region is for spring, and it has been observed that the duration for all seasons are only up to the 4 months, means 4 months winter, 4 for spring, 4 for summer and 4 for fall. So the area or location if you are talking about, so it is located in United States, Canada, Europe, China, Japan and some parts of Russia. So it has been observed that as it is the temperate and deciduous forest, so maybe because of that leaf which are falling in the particular season, so its soil is very fertile. So soil is very fertile and rich with the nutrient. This is the one of the characteristic feature of temperate deciduous forest. So this is about the soil characteristics or soil property from this temperate deciduous forest. What's about the animals? So here it has been observed that black bear, wolves are very common animals that live in the temperate deciduous forest ecosystem. The growing season of temperate deciduous forest lasts about 6 months. So it has been observed that the duration or the growing season, which is known as, it is for the it lasts for the 6 months. The leaves of deciduous trees change their color in the fall because the plant or tree stops producing chlorophyll. So we know it very well that leaf color is green. So that green color is only because of the chlorophyll pigments, right? So it has been observed that at the time of fall, the color of that particular leaf is completely changed. It is not green one. Means sometimes you can recall the color of that chinar plant or chinar tree. Okay, it is totally golden rather than green. So it is only because of this particular mechanism, you can say, that the chlorophyll pigment is completely stopped, or synthesis of chlorophyll pigment is completely stopped during the fall season. Next to this temperate deciduous forest, we turn toward the tropical rainforest. So this is first characteristic feature of tropical rainforest. So tropical rainforests are one of the oldest ecosystem on earth. Means whenever or at the if you are interested in the origin of earth, so it has been observed that these are the oldest forest or oldest ecosystem on the earth, an ecosystem which covers about 7% of earth's surface. So it has been observed that near about this much percent of this earth's surface is occupied by this particular tropical rainforest. So majority of this tropical rainforest lies in southern America, especially in Brazil. So it is responsible for the oxygen. So we know, or whatever the oxygen we people can see, or whatever the quantity or concentration of oxygen is covered on this earth side or biosphere. So remember that oxygen is only coming from this particular tropical rainforest. So this is the picture of tropical rainforest. Next ecosystem is the grassland ecosystem. This is a very interesting type of ecosystem and different from the previous one. So grasslands are also known as prairies and savannas. Tropical savannas, you might have been heard about that. So it has been observed that near about 25% of the earth's surface is covered by this grassland ecosystem. So grasslands are normally situated, means if you are talking about the location, what is the location of this grassland type of ecosystem? So it has been observed that, so grasslands are normally situated between the forest and desert. So whatever the region which we people can see in between forest and this desert, so that region is nothing but the grassland, or grassland are especially observed in this particular zone, means in between desert and in some part of the forest. In fact, this grassland surrounds every desert in Asia. Means if you are going to make the survey for the Asian desert, then you can see or you can observe or locate this particular availability of this grassland. So there is a grassland on each continent. This is the characteristic feature, you can say, of for this grassland ecosystem, that there is a grassland on each continent with exception of Antarctica. Means in everywhere, means wherever the desert is there, wherever the forest is there, then in that particular location grasslands and the grasslands are available, are there, but except in Antarctica where the too much cold is there. We know it very well. Then tropical and temperate are the two types of grassland, means tropical grassland and temperate grassland. So tropical grasslands experience warm weather. So weather which you people can experience in this tropical grassland are warm type of weather all year long, while temperate grasslands are warm at half part of the year and very cold during the other part of that year. Then grasslands are perfect for cropping and pasturing because its soil runs deep and it is extremely fertile. Means it has been observed that grassland soil is too much fertile compared to the another soil. So why it may be so? Because we saw it is the region in between forest and the desert. So maybe because of this, too much nutrients may be available in that particular soil. So that's why they are good for this cropping and pasturing. So this is the picture of grassland, which is located, as I told you, in between the desert area and the forest area. Next to grassland, we turn towards this interesting ecosystem, that is desert. So desert covers about 20% of our Earth's surface. So it has been observed near about 20% of Earth's surface is covered by this desert. So one good example we know, that is Sahara Desert, which is the largest desert in the desert ecosystem, which covers up to 300 million square miles. So if you're talking about the surface area of this Sahara Desert, so it has been observed that it covers up to 300 million per square miles. So many desert animals tend to be nocturnal. This is one of the characteristic feature of this animals which are surviving in this particular ecosystem or in desert ecosystem. So whatever these animals or whoever the animals which you people might have been heard, so what is the property or feature of that animal? All these animals are the nocturnal one, means night dwelling animal we called it as. So they are sleeping during the day and coming out at night when the temperature are more tolerable. So as per the temperature changes, these animals are trying to survive there, right? And majority of these animals, it has been observed that they are nocturnal one. So because there is hardly and standing water in the desert, animals either store water in their bodies or get their water needs met by the foods they eat. So we know it very well that in desert the water is very less or sometimes there is no water. So how these animals which are surviving in this particular region are overcome or are ready to overcome this problem. So it has been observed that wherever they get the water, their body shows the ability to store that water, and also it has been observed that the food whatever is eaten by this particular animal, it contains too much water. So this is how they are ready to overcome this less water problem. Then this dust storm is also one of the big problem or one of the property, nature's property we can say, which we can experience in this particular area of the desert. So this dust storms occur when the wind picks up dust from the surface, and these storms can be up to 1 mile. So this is the feature related to this dust storm. So its intensity is given here. So what is its intensity? Or it may be or can be up to 1 mile high and travel up to or over 100 miles. So this is the feature or property of that particular dust storm. The desert ecosystem can be found on every continent except in Europe region. So in every continent somehow means little, large, etc. So this type of deserts are available, this type of deserts can be seen, but except in this Europe continent. Because body fat retains heat, most desert animals have an adaptation. So it has been observed that this body fat retains heat. So they shows the particular ability to store this fat. So this is how this fat is helpful, that stored fat help this particular animals to complete or to fulfill the need of water as well as nutrients. So particular adaptation or specific type of adaptation can be seen in this desert animals. So that allows, especially that adaptation allows to store all their body fat in one area of their body, and one good example is given, that is camel. So camels store all its body fat in its hump, right? So camel hump, everybody might have been seen camel, one of the mammal which shows this particular region or particular curvature on their back region, we called it as a hump. So as per the need of storage of this fat, the number of humps can be seen. Means single hump camels are there, double hump camels are there, triple hump camels are also there. So what is the use of this hump? Remember, this hump, it has been observed that are responsible to store these fats, and these fats are ready to provide this need of water, nutrients, especially at the time of cold. Or suppose the temperature is extreme. So in that extreme temperature, this fulfillment occurs because of this particular fats or because of this number of humps, etc. So the plants that are able to grow in this desert. So characteristic feature of the plants which are growing in this particular region are, so the plants which are able to grow in this desert biome store water in their stem. So these plants especially are able to store this water in their stem. They normally grow spaced out, means their roots are also different and stem part is also different. It is not the normal stem and normal root as we people can see in the usual type of areas or usual landforms. So cacti have many adaptations. So cacti, everybody might have been seen this cactus or cacti which shows this particular thorns, right? Or spines. So what is the use of the spines, thorns, and also the leaves suppose are there, then that leaves are complete waxy type of leaves are there, or some sort of moisture can be seen. So what is the use of the spines and what is the use of this waxy leaf or waxy area which we people can feel on this cactus plants? So it has been observed that these spines protect them from being eaten by animals or predators. So they protect this particular themselves, they are able to protect themselves from the predators, and this waxy outer covering keeps moisture from escaping. So this is how water problem and protection problem or defense problem is solved with the help of this desert plant. So here we saw this animals, how they are ready to adapt themselves in this extreme region, as well as plants are also able to ready for the adaptation or also able to survive in this particular extreme region with some changes, etc. So one good example here you can see is the Sahara Desert. So where this particular plant very similar to the this cycas plant you can see. Then some realms are there. So question arises, what is mean by these realms or biogeographic realms? So realms are nothing but the regions, specific regions. So in last lecture I told you about the ecosystems, okay, types of ecosystem, two major types of ecosystem. So biogeographic realms means what? Here the regions are different. Okay, so in this particular biosphere or surface of this earth shows the variety of region, variety of location. So what is the feature of this location or this region? Here the specific landforms can be seen, specific systems can be seen, and as per the landforms, as per the availability of the plants, the organism, here the specific animals are also located. So this is one of the characteristic feature of this biogeographic realms. So these regions, careful studies of the distribution of plants and animals, means here we people can study the distribution of, means the particular distribution or specific distribution of the plants as well as animals. And here as per this distribution, it has been observed that 6 major biogeographic realms are there, where each is characterized with the presence of certain unique organisms. So as I said, as per the availability of nutrients, then of abiotic factors, so here the unique organisms are or unique organisms can be experienced. These are the 6 different types of this biogeographic realms. So Nearctic realm is there, Neotropical is there, then Aftropical, then Indomalaya or Australia, etc. Then next to this terrestrial ecosystem, we turn towards the important part of this terrestrial ecosystem, that is structure and composition of the ecosystem. So some part we have already discussed in previous lecture. So at a glance you can see the structure of an ecosystem. So what you can see in this structure of ecosystem, so 2 major components by which the structure of an ecosystem is made by. So first component is the abiotic components and second is the biotic component. So remember, if you are talking about the structure and composition of ecosystem, then that time remember that structure of ecosystem or this ecosystem shows this two components, where abiotic component shows climatic factors, edaphic factors. Climatic factors means whatever we people can see or feel surrounding to us, means wind, temperature, light, rain, etc. These are the climatic factors. Then edaphic factor means soil-borne factors. Okay, whatever the minerals which are present in this soil, or that is oxygen or topography, etc. We call it as a edaphic factors. And biotic components means this producers are there, consumers are there, and decomposers are there. So in detail, this biotic components and abiotic components we people can see. So the list of biotic component producers means obviously the photosynthetic organisms. So this with the help of light, carbon dioxide and chlorophyll pigments, these producers are able to prepare the food material and we called it as a autotrophs. So some autotrophs are there and some chemotrophs are also there. So what are the chemotrophs? Chemotrophs are the bacteria or microorganisms. So with the help of simple mineral oxidation or organic matter oxidation, these chemotrophs or this bacteria are able to produce some amount of energy. So here you can see this autotrophs and chemotrophs, which are nothing but the producers. Producers means which are able to provide or which are able to deliver the energy in the particular ecosystem. So this is the base of or static level of the ecosystem. So in this picture you can see producers at the left side, at the middle one consumers are there, and at the right side decomposers are there. So decomposers, what are decomposers? These are decomposers means they derive the energy by breaking down the complex organic matter, means whatever the dead material is there, complex type of organic matter is there. So that complex material or dead material is broken with the help of some bacteria, fungi. We call them as a decomposers. So here this is the list of biotic component. Producers are there, consumers are there, and decomposers are there. This is all about the biotic components. Then what are consumers? Consumers means the organisms which get their food by feeding on other organisms. Means here in this particular diagram, at the middle one, you can see consumers are there. So consumer, what happened? They completely depend upon the producers. So as per the type, means some primary consumers are there and some secondary consumers are also there. So in this picture, you can see fish is there, rat, or the chicken is there, etc. So this fish, then this chicken, these are the primary consumers suppose. But lion and some carnivores are there, these are the secondary consumers. So consumers, herbivores, carnivores. Herbivores, which are actually the primary consumers, they feed on the producers, plant eaters we also called it as, and carnivores which feed on the primary consumers. So this is about the herbivores, carnivores, consumers means all the biotic factors. One more type of organisms are there, that is omnivores. Name itself indicate omni means whole. So they feed on plants and animals. So some organisms are there. Very good example is the human being or man. So man, some birds like fox, some mammals are ready to feed on plant as well as on animals. So that's why we people are the omnivores type of organisms. Then one more specialized group of organisms which you can see in biotic component, that is detrivores. So whatever the dead matter is there. So what happens with this dead matter? So this dead matter, dead organic matter which is present in aquatic ecosystem also and in land forms also. So this dead matter or that particular waste is broken you can say, or eaten by some saprotrophs or saprophytes. So that feeders or that particular organisms are known as a detritus feeders. So this omnivores, detrivores, in previous one herbivores, carnivores. These are all the factors, or these are all the parts which are coming from the biotic components. So this is all about the biotic component. At a glance, you can see the various animals. Here, first one is the herbivore, then this crow. Remember, it is also known as a detrivore or saprophyte because it is ready to eat on the dead matter also. Then secondary consumer like lion is there, and some bacteria which we call it as a decomposers, right? So decomposers which are ready to oxidize or which are ready to break whatever the organic matter it is present inside the soil. Then abiotic component. In this picture you can see this abiotic component. So in picture you can see rain, sunlight, wind, soil. So some physical factors and some chemical factors by which this abiotic components or abiotic factors are made by. So the example is sunlight, then this temperature, then rainfall, wind and soil. And as per the availability, suppose water. So all these are the abiotic components. So some chemical factors are also there which are especially available in water and soil, as there's potassium, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, sulfur. Some toxic substances are also there. Then salts causing salinity influence, which is also important or which play an important role in all type of ecosystem. So this is how means some physical factors and chemical factors. In previous slide we saw the physical factors, and here you can see the chemical factors. So by physical factors and chemical factors, this abiotic components or abiotic factors are made by. Then it has been observed that some geographical area or some geographical factors as latitude, longitude and altitude, it is also the part of this abiotic component. This is all about the terrestrial ecosystem. Now we turn towards the questions, what you have to solve or how you have to solve. So this is one assignment in which I asked 2 questions. So that questions you have to solve, write in answer sheet, make the PDF and upload it on our Google Classroom. So first question which I asked is describe in detail terrestrial ecosystem and add a note on geographical realm. So here terrestrial ecosystem, whatever the types or the parts which I have explained or enlisted, so all that ecosystems you have to explain here. And next to it you have to explain this biotic and abiotic components. In next lecture we are going to talk about food chain, types of food chain and food web. Thank you.